Shall I make a start? So, last week I did the last session on the sort of animals project, and because it's a 5-week month, I thought for the extra week in the month I would do something just slightly different. So I'm going to do something on buildings. There's a couple of people that were struggling with buildings, and actually Margaret as well, who's not here today. So I thought I'd do a little bit on buildings. So I brought a couple of my own paintings in actually. So this is one that I finished quite well. I thought I finished it. I may make a few changes, but this is one I've been working on recently, and sort of pretty much. Well, I thought I'd finish it on Friday, but I looked at it this morning. I thought maybe I should make these figures a little bit lighter, and the car lighter, but it's more or less that. So, and then the other one around the corner is a commission that I'm pretty much finished it. It's a commission I've been working on since just after Christmas. I'm sure you'll see that when you come out and see great. It's quite a big painting of Wesley. So, yeah, something like this. If I was going to try and draw this, the way I tend to draw buildings is I like to start with the small bits in the distance and work my way out. I just find that easier. I'll just move that over slightly. So I might start with this bit at the end. And the thing to look for here is that point and that point. This side is just going to be very, very slightly higher than that side. So it's going to be something like that would be a little bit lower, a bit of an angle slightly like that. And then it's getting the vertical bit. I can't quite see down to the bottom, but if I could see the bottom of that, what you'd find is that, well, there's people in the way already, but you'd find that the angle of the bottom bit is probably angled something like that. So a quick way to get the position of the pointy bit is to just put a cross through there, and then take that up there, and then it's really a matter of just really trying to judge that angle. I think it's coming up here. Alternatively, you could measure it. You could sort of compare there to there with there to there, and that's about the same. So yeah, I'm on the right sort of track. So that gives me an angle like that, and that's the way of getting that looking right. So what I see quite a lot is I see a lot of that, so where this is horizontal, but it's, you know, the way perspective works is that you'll have a bit of an angle there, and have a little bit of an angle there. So that's the thing to do. If I'm out drawing, the way I check it is I just close one eye and I line my pencil up with, you know, whatever it is. This bit here, you'll find is, so if that's going that way, the bits on this side of the building are going to go that way. So you'd expect, and again, if I line that up, there is a very slight angle going that way. Like that bit. A little bit covering there. And then it's onto the other bits of the building, so I can put a vertical in. The other thing I thought, if you're working from a photograph, if you've got something like that, I was wondering if I could make use of this. It's sort of like, what you need to do is have something either vertical or horizontal. But yeah, that might work, mightn't it? You could make that, yes, that would do it. Yeah, so if I line that up with the vertical of the edge of the paper, yeah, you could actually get that angle and then transfer that over to wherever that would be.
I like that.
Yeah, so you like that?
No,
it just came from this morning. I forgot about that. But what you can do, if you've got a couple of bits of cardboard, if you haven't got one of these, if you've got 2 bits of cardboard, same size, and just a split pin, make a hole and a split pin, and then just give that a whack to, you know, hammer it so that it holds the position. That's just a really, and I have got a couple of these made up somewhere. I've got to go and get a So I thought of this idea, I forgot to get later. But I thought, well, I've got these here, that'll do the same sort of thing. But just some sort of angle finder, some sort of way of just keeping the angle. I don't know what else you do. You can maybe even, if you had a piece of plastic, you can draw over the plastic, draw your angle, and perhaps just compare it. That might be another way. So it's just some sort of way of just checking you've got the angles right. So from there, I'm just looking at a bit of space up to there, then I'm going from here to here. We've got quite a steep angle there, something like that. Check that distance, and that is a bit wider than that building, so I'm thinking of going up to there, not coming to there. I'm probably going to run out of space here, I think. You could do the cross bit, but I will just do that by sight. Actually, if I draw a little line in there, what I find is there's more space from that side to there than there is there to there. Basically because it's in perspective. So you'd expect, if I draw a line where I think it's going to be, you'd expect that to be a bit narrower than that. Compare that with that. It's just fractionally narrower, and that should give me the right sort of angle then. So take that up to there, and back down, that back down to there. That should have the right sort of look, and then coming back down this way, like that. I'm just going to, sight the angles. I think. So really looking at that as a triangle, that looks a bit wide actually. So maybe that's good. Yeah. Either this bit, maybe this bit's a bit steeper. Perhaps that comes up a bit higher. That's a bit more like that triangle shape. This ridge, very, very steep, that's going off there. So rather than try and squash it in, just let that all start again a lot smaller. Just I think having your image on the same plane as your drawing, if you're drawing and you can keep your forward square. Hey Margaret, just do a little bit on perspective. I thought that might be a useful thing for everybody. When I'm drawing, I try and make sure that it's square onto me. So I might just sit and lean if it's a sketchbook, lean it on the side of the table. Or if I've got some way of just packing up the back, something like that. With the images, either have it on an easel square on, or just try and find. We've got a couple of little stands there. You can stand it up so you're seeing it square on. That's quite an important thing. So carrying this on, and that's like that. So what you should find is there should be a difference. So whatever this is, this should be steeper. So I'm thinking that might even go steeper still, something like that. And if you just try and imagine all these different angles are just going to fan out like that, from some point way off in the distance here. And if you carry them, we did the bottom one, which is about like that. Probably somewhere about here, they'll all fan out from that point, just over here. Other than that, it's just working my way down. The tops of those windows are more or less just on that line. So I can just start popping those in. Quite narrow, where the bottoms come, they come to about there, in relation to that building. And what I do is I just keep relating back. It might be worth getting that window in there, just get a sense of where that is, and then I can then relate these other windows to this window I've already established. So whatever I've got going on here, I just keep scanning back to that point. The tops of these, I don't know what you call those, they're little bays, aren't they? Little bay windows, they're about that level. Just checking that actually, they're they're a little bit higher, so maybe this is lower. I've got that wrong. So they're about that level. And then just see how they align with this bit here. So that's coming down here, down like that. Just goes along a bit, and this other one is just slightly shallower angle. That comes out there. So again, that can be the level for the front of the bays. I'll ignore the lamp in the middle. something like that. And really these, these sort of windows here and here and here, I just really check with me ones above to see how they line up. And that one seems to more or less line up with this one. This one on the edge here. Like that. And I can't quite see the bottom of this bit. Here. That's as far as I can see with that one, then it's on to the next one there. So rather than kind of draw the end of this in, I'd rather just chip away at all the little bits and just work. I could maybe roughly measure to make sure it's going to fit on the page. That would be worth doing. Maybe take that measurement, see how many times that goes in. But as long as I know I've got enough space, rather than draw an outline and fill it all in, I find it's easier to just kind of work my way through the shape. So the next shape is this little sign. I won't draw the whole building, but just give it, so there's a frame pipe there, a sign about there, and the bottom of the sign I think is roughly in line with the bottom of this window. So that can come in here. And then the window is just behind that. This window is slightly lower than these ones, which is something I've noticed when I've drawn the pub a couple of times. That's been there. But I think these, I think those two are in line. That one's a little bit lower. But again, it's subtle things. So you probably notice it more if you're drawing it from life. And then there's quite a big gap there, so I can measure maybe that gap and see how many times that fits in. Or ideally come back to something here, perhaps come back to that and see how many times that fits in. So it's basically two of those. That gets me to position for the next window. And then so on and down.
Yeah, well, it's interesting starting from that end. It makes it look easier to manage the angles.
I find it easier. It's just something I kind of worked out for myself. I think with street scenes, I tend to, if I was doing the whole street, I'd start with a little building in the distance and just work my way back. So you just need to make sure you position that the way you want it. You don't want it sort of up here or down there. You have to kind of almost like measure out that everything's going to fit first. Get a rough idea it's going to fit.
Do you find it easier, I mean I know you're experienced, do you find it easier doing it from life than from a picture? Just sitting on the street and sketching it.
I think they're both the same,
both
really.
The same.
I don't find them much too different. I just enjoy it more, really.
Exactly.
I can do. I suppose in some ways it's easier. Like here, I can't quite see what's going on. So that's the difficulty with photos. Sometimes bits are coming up. Whereas if I was there, if something's in the way, I can just go and have a look around the corner and just see what's behind it, or just change it.
Because you've done lovely pictures of Lee looking down the street.
I've done a couple of those. I might do it more of those.
It's crucial to get those perspective lines right, isn't it?
It is,
Yes, it is.
So when you started that little house at the beginning, I probably would have put that the line at the top, and the bottom's working. You've got the post coming down.
And it's quite subtle, isn't it? I mean, it's quite a subtle angle there and a subtle angle there, so it's very easy to just make them horizontal like that. But it will look, quite flat if you don't. Well, it looks stylised, it won't look in perspective. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just a different, if you're not just drawing perspective, this is the way to get it looking in perspective.
I missed the very beginning.
That's all right, I'll have that.
Where did you actually start?
So what I did was I started with this bit.
Right.
So I think I started with that angle there. So what I'm saying is there's a tiny bit of an angle between that point and that point. And one way you can get this pointy bit is to actually go down and draw the bottom and then just do a cross there. And then you take that up to there and that gives you that. But what you'll find is there's less space here than there is on that side, if you can see that. Just because it's in perspective.
And you would then extend that line across to get the perspective.
I mean, you could this, would gradually converge.
Right.
And I think in the past I've done, we've done exercises where we've made nails in the boards and rulers and bits of cotton and things like that. You can do that.
Yeah.
Or if you've got a really massive drawing board, you could construct it all with just long straight edges. I mean, if you're drawing and painting outdoors like these ones, this sort of thing, I've just got to be aware that the angles here are going to be a lot steeper than here and here, and then by the time I get here, I mean, this was a little bit more complicated because this balcony is on a different angle because it hits at the top and it's going uphill. So there's a few other added bits of complication. But the principle's the same. You know, these will fan out this side, these should fan out that side. So it's just if you've got that in mind.
Is that down near Cliff Pavilion, Paul, that view?
It's not too far from the cliff. If you drive up there and come around, come to the Cliff Pavilion. Yeah, I basically did this one because I couldn't do the other one day. It was too foggy.
Oh, right.
So I made a start on this one. Then some days it's been too windy to do the other one. The other one's a commission, so this has been a good one to chip away at. Days when it wasn't quite right, but it's a real time of mine. I wasn't, quite fancy painting anyway. Do you know what it's up in Westcliff, just going up.
Under the arches.
You just up where the arches are. There's a couple of Italian restaurants.
Yes, that's right. Hilton Road.
Shorefield Road. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep, right.